I've done a lot of traveling lately, and I'm a person of limited means. I don't have a whole lot of money, so it's really surprising that I've, been so many places lately. For example, me and my mom and my Aunt Jen, we went down to Oklahoma to pick up my sister, and we drove down there. So it was like 30 hours, and so my mom doesn't have a license, but my Aunt Jen does, I do, and the friend I took with did. So there was 3 people with a license in the car. But my Aunt Jen drove the entire way, and we didn't stop to sleep. She drove for 30 hours straight, without sleep. Just a lot of Red Bull. That was really dangerous. But, we went through, like, Illinois and Kansas and Missouri, and, we picked up my sister, and then we came back. So I've been to, like, all the central states, but Oklahoma has been as south as I'd ever been, especially driving. And just recently I got the opportunity to go and see my friend in Texas for the second time. And the last time I went with my friend's mom. But this time I went by myself, which was pretty scary for me because I'd only been on a plane one other time. And this was my first time going alone. And I didn't have that much money, and I was being in a different place. And I've been born and raised in a tiny town. To go anywhere bigger than a town of, 1,500 people is kind of scary for me. So, I got on the plane, and there was a switchover in Minneapolis, and I left from Fargo. And, in my switchover, my plane arrived in at, like, 11:30, 11, and my next plane was at 11:45. And I had never been to the Minneapolis airport by myself before, so I had to sprint and find my next gate in, like, 10 minutes. By the time I got there, they were making final boarding calls. It made me so nervous, because if I would have missed the flight, I would have felt so bad. Anyway, I got to Texas, and like I said, I'd been to Texas a previous time before. So I had numbers of taxi drivers that still knew me and, would cut me some deals, because taxis are pretty expensive. Anyways, so I spent $40 on a crazy driver to take me from the airport to my hotel. And so we're going like 80, 85, 90. We're going pretty fast. And we're still some of the slowest ones on the road. And it was really scary because, people in Nevis, we complain about tourists driving and that they drive too slow or too lazy or whatever. But these tourists obviously aren't from Texas. So anyways, I finally got to my hotel safely, and, I checked it out online, but I'd never been there, and it didn't have the best reviews, but it was really cheap, and I didn't have that much money. Anyways, I showed up at the hotel, and the lobby was really nice, and I was really pleased with the Oriental breakfast area, and that was really neat looking, and I got my key, and I went up to my room. When I opened my room door, no. That was sketchy. It didn't feel clean. It had that misty, foggy feel to it, like you couldn't breathe clearly. So I had to open my door, and it was really cold out. Like, I picked the only weekend that it wasn't raining in Texas to go. Of course. Anyway, so I got there, and I had to open my room, and it got cold, and then I finally shut it because I felt like I could breathe, and the air was more clear. But then I turned on my heater, and my smoke detector started going off. And it was very, very loud. So I had like 4 staff members and all the people in the upstairs evacuate their rooms just because I turned my heater on. It was really embarrassing, and I felt really bad for a lot of people. Anyway, so after my fire alarm incident started to settle down, I decided to watch some TV, wait for my friend to get off work so we could hang out. And I decided to take a nap. And I'm laying down, I'm getting all comfortable, and, these are some really nice sheets and some nice pillows. I don't use the top blanket because, I just don't like to do that. So I'm still kind of cold, so I turn my heater on. I wait by the smoke detector with my sweater to get ready to wave it to get the air away from the fire detector. Anyway, I was laying down in bed after I turned my heater on, and things were going good. Everything was going smooth. No alarm. I was watching some TV, and I was laying down getting ready to take a nap. I'm all cuddled up, and something was moving. Something was crawling on me. And I kept trying to push this side out of my mind, like, no, there's nothing there. There's no way. This hotel is supposed to be clean. No. And it keeps moving, and you know how it keeps moving. So then I take off my covers really quick, and there's a cockroach just chilling in my bed. Just chilling right there on my leg. I'm like, and I got really, really uptight and really scared, and I'm swatting at it and killing it, and brush it off the bed. And so I obviously didn't sleep very good for the rest of the weekend because I kept, you know, after you see a spider and it disappears, or after you watch creepy crawly things and suddenly you get those tingles around your body. That's what I had. So I didn't get very much sleep during the weekend at all. I kept the lights on so I could see anything that was moving, and it was just a rough time. But I got to see my friend, and it was really worth it to stick it out, I guess. And the hotel was really cheap, and you do get what you pay for. But just some advice. Listen to the ratings and listen to what other people have to say, because some things are true, and I guarantee you don't want to end up with a cockroach on your leg like I did.